So I want to start the conversation by giving each gentleman time to introduce himself by answering 3 key questions. The first question is, in any of your previous roles, what do you think is the biggest thing you've done for MSMEs? And in your current role, what do you commit to do for the MSMEs? And lastly, on a more personal note, what is your first entrepreneurial experience, if any, if at all? So let's start with Secretary Fred.
I had dealings with MSME way back when I was with the Asian Development Bank. My current role, MSME will be front and center of my official function as Secretary of DTI. In fact, in my earlier public speeches, I've always said that my role is to upgrade, upskill, and upsize MSMEs. I want to see MSMEs growing from micro to small, small to medium, and medium to large. The main lesson, as I said, we have to anticipate what can go wrong, and that can be done through an organized risk management.
It's not a straight line up there. You really go up in waves and different challenges that you don't expect, similar to what we see today, where you have the Ukraine-Russian crisis creating a lot of havoc in our cost of raw materials and making it very hard for us to maintain the margins that will allow us to exist. No? And that is us, but you can imagine the micro-entrepreneurs, no? They are even at a worse situation. So we really need to help our MSMEs. It's not just the government there that should help them, but it's really the private sector, because everyone in this room is an entrepreneur. And sometimes it's like going to a priest to go to confession, you go out of church, you feel renewed. I look at our roving 3M on wheels, it's the same. They're like telling their confession, all their problems, and then you tell them this is what you look at, so you give them hope. So the hope is the one that gives them the fuel to continue.
Secretary Benhur and Secretary Fred, Joey just mentioned some of the issues faced by MSMEs. What are the solutions that you or your agency can propose to address those issues? He talked about access to capital. He talked about, sometimes the idea, it's just not there yet. The person is not ready to be an entrepreneur. What can DTI do? What can DILG do? Let's start with Secretary Fred.
One of the initial projects that we're going to launch very soon is an e-commerce platform that will give MSMEs access to a wider market. That platform will also be the basis for financing or meeting their requirements. Because with digitized data, it's very easy to accumulate the data and be able to prepare algorithms that will analyze the data and determine some sort of a credit score for the enterprise that's on the platform. This is already being done by one of our partners, and we will roll it out in the DTI-sponsored e-commerce platform. And that will also be the way we will be able to disseminate technology to them. So these are the 3 things that the MSMEs need for success. They need, of course, in production, they need technology. In market, they need access to market. And if we are to do anything, they need to get the money or the finance. So we're trying to address all those 3 basic needs for running a business.
Okay, this is what we're going to do with all LGUs in the Philippines right now. Make sure that this Negosyo Center will not only be created by them, but it should really work and coordinate with all Negosyo Centers all over the country. And we will also connect, of course, with the name Go Negosyo of Joey Concepcion. That's important for marketing and for all, and assisting our small SMEs.